The world is one family is the very reason of the program going global. The main objective of Avenir 2021 is to prepare our students to be future ready. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq Al Said, the benevolent and magnanimous leader of the Sultanate of Oman, endorsed the launch of the future vision of the Sultanate entitled Oman 2040. The main focus of the 2040 vision of Oman is based on Oman moving forward with confidence. Just as Oman's vision 2040 is the gateway for the Sultanate to join the orbit of advanced nations, Avenir 2021 too, in its uniqueness, will reach out to millions of students across the globe, preparing them as the future workforce set to meet challenges of the 21st century. The Avenir series, under the aegis of the Board of Directors, Indian Schools Sultanate of Oman, was first hosted by Indian School Al Mabela, followed by Indian School Al Seed through physical settings in 2018 and 2019 respectively. Avenir 2020 went virtual for the first time and was hosted by Indian School Muscat. This year, Indian School Al Wadi Al Kabir
Good morning, sir. Welcome to our session.
Good morning. Just a moment. I will connect it as yeah. It's still going on. Windows getting ready and all. It's very difficult.
Just a second, sir. Just give us a second. We'll start online now.
Okay.
Music gives a soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and life to everything. Plato. Good morning, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Avenir 2021, a global virtual career guidance program organized by Indian School Al Wadi Al Kabir under the aegis of the Board of Directors of Indian Schools in Oman. On behalf of Indian School Al Wadi Al Kabir, we, Aman and Ashley, your hosts for this morning from ISWK, take the proud privilege of expressing our profound gratitude to His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq Al Said for the unstinting and noble benevolence showered on the Indian community in the Sultanate of Oman. May the Almighty shower His choicest blessings on His Majesty, and may this nation experience peace and everlasting prosperity. The flow for the program for this morning is as follows. We'll begin with the welcome address, followed by a brief introduction about the guest speaker. Then we shall invite the esteemed guest speaker. After the guest speaker's presentation, we shall request the speaker to answer a few questions raised by the attendees in the Q&A segment. Then we shall conclude this session with a vote of thanks.
At the outset, let me take this opportunity to welcome dignitaries from the Ministry of Education, Dr. Sivakumar Manikyam, Honorable Chairman, Board of Directors, Indian Schools in the Sultanate of Oman, members of various boards of directors, CBSE officials, distinguished members of the MOE Oman, officials of the Embassy of India, Sultanate of Oman. Mr. Alkesh Joshi, Honorary President of the School Management Committee, Indian School Al-Wadi Al-Kabir, presidents and members of all the school management committees of Indian schools in Oman and from other schools and boards across the globe, principals, vice principals, heads of various departments, coordinators, teachers, parents, staff, and students of all participating schools. Welcome all.
Dear audience, you're requested to fill in the feedback form posted in the chat box, and to our attendees who are viewing this session on YouTube Live, kindly use the link posted in the description towards the end of the session. Filling this form is necessary as it would fetch you a participation certificate.
With great honor and pride, I now introduce you to a great musician who has regaled and enthralled his audience across the country and abroad through soulful and unique style of singing. He's none other than Mr. Shishir Parkhie. Shishir Parkhie is a widely acclaimed Indian ghazal singer, having a unique distinction of being nominated twice for the prestigious Global Indian Music Academy Awards in the Best Ghazal Album category. With rich, highly emotive, mellifluous voice, Shishir excels in various forms of music, ranging from ghazals, bhajans, semi-classical music to playback singing. Apart from his versatility to sing different styles and types, he is also a very talented composer. Several albums in various categories with his vocals and compositions have been released by reputed music companies. Shishir was born in a family with musical background, hence he was exposed to music right from childhood. He took his first lessons in music from his mother, Srimati Pratima Parkhie. He started learning vocal music and tabla at the age of 6 years and set foot on the stage soon after walking away with prizes and awards in several music competitions for various categories. He was invited to perform at the national concert held by All India Radio during the International Year of Child. He performed for his first solo ghazal concert at the age 15 and has appeared on national network on several occasions for different musical programs. He has lent his voice for several jingles and television serials as well. Dear audience, let's welcome Mr. Shishir Parkhie.
Now I call upon our guest speaker for the session, Mr. Shishir Parkhie. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be a part of Avenir 2021. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to interact with all the esteemed guests, parents, teachers, students, and all the dignitaries present today. I would like to congratulate the team of Indian School Al-Wadi Al-Kabir and the directors of Indian School at Sultanate of Oman for organizing such a wonderful event. So I would start by saying that music is mostly considered as a hobby or an extracurricular activity, particularly in India. So even when I decided to become a full-time musician about 25 years ago, people would say that it's nice that you're a singer, but what work do you do? Are you a businessman or are you working somewhere? Means they wanted to ask what you do for your livelihood. And most of them would be surprised to know that I am a full-time musician. But now my hobby is my profession and I love it. I'm always eagerly waiting for my next performance or my next recording, because I'm doing what I like. I never feel that I'm going to work. So for all those who love music, I would say that now it's a very diverse industry with various positions for skilled musicians. Though I started being a full-time professional musician much later, but the foundation was laid while I was in school. So I studied at St. Xavier's Bokaro Steel City, and I got a lot of encouragement from all the teachers there. So I would say that music is something that can be learned from a very early age. So one should start learning as early as possible. Like when you are in school itself. Even I started learning tabla at the age of 6 years or 7 years. So you can start going to a singing class, or you can learn to play some musical instrument. There are many local music school, music gurus and pandits who teach music. So while in school itself, you can take up a course in Hindustani classical music, vocal or instrumental. You can find a guru in your area who is affiliated to Akhil Bharatiya Gandharva Vidyalaya or Bhatkande University or similar, to go for a course of Sangeet Visharad. So Sangeet Visharad is equivalent to a degree. So you can start learning in school itself. So you can take these classes as per your convenience after school, or even during weekly holidays or so. You can appear for the exams even every year, or even you can take a gap if there is a lot of pressure in school, or every 6 months exam is being conducted. So you can go to the website of Akhil Bharatiya Gandharva Vidyalaya and you will find all the details there. So after that, further you can go for Sangeet Alankar, which is equivalent to a postgraduate degree, and so on. So for Western music, you can take up a course in Trinity College of London. Teachers are affiliated to Trinity College who teach Western music. So that classes also you can find in your local area. There are so many classes now. Even online classes is an option, but I would recommend that you first look for a local guru, local teacher. So offline is always much better than learning music online. So there are other advantages of learning music at an early age as well, because it will improve your concentration, it will improve your speech, and you will be able to read more easily. It develops left part of your brain, so which is responsible for reasoning and language. So you can then later decide if you want to study music even after school, or just you can keep it as a hobby. So even keeping music as is a hobby is a good option. So even if you don't want to perceive as a career, even as a hobby, music is always good. So if you want to perceive as a profession, then you can take up music as a subject after school as well. So music is an art form, and you may not require a formal degree to become a successful singer or a musician. But there are components of music composition and performance that may not be learned simply through practice and lessons. Understanding music theories behind how music is formed and made serves as a foundation for creating new music while taking part in school or college functions, which will further enhance the skill that later you will need for future gigs. You'll also learn many new things from the experiences of accomplished gurus and music mentors, which you may not be able to learn otherwise. So joining a course will also give you a chance to create your own band or perform in cultural programs, where you'll get a good exposure in front of crowds before you become a professional musician. So I was born in a family with a musical background. So my father was a music lover and composer. And as it was told in the introduction, my mother was a professional light music and classical singer. So I started learning tabla when I was very young, maybe 6, 7 years old. I learned tabla for 3 years or so. I also used to sing at that time, but I did not receive any formal training in singing then. That came to me naturally. And my mother used to sing from All India Radio. So I also got an opportunity to sing at All India Radio as a child artist. And I was also invited at the special concert for International Year of Child. That was in 1979, when I was about 12 years old. So when I was growing up, ghazals were at their peak, and I started learning ghazals and liking ghazals very much. I used to listen to a lot of records, cassettes, radio, and I used to pick up the compositions and try to sing. So because of that, I could do a solo ghazal performance when I was only 14 years old. And also there used to be a lot of classical as well as light music mehfils at my home, because my parents were music lovers. So that time, whole night concerts used to be there. And I also used to attend a lot of classical as well as other programs happening in the city. So that also helped. So my parents also used to compose ghazals for mostly for Akashvani that time. So from there, I got an idea of how to compose music. And I got a lot of opportunities to perform in the school gatherings, inter-school functions, etc. I won several prizes for tabla as well as singing. But later I stopped learning tabla, and my love for singing continued. But as I reached 8th and 9th standard, the focus shifted more towards studies. And as the preparation started for 10th exam, so this continued till 12th standard. I shifted from Bokaro to Nagpur for 11th for higher studies. I got admitted to 11th standard with general science subjects. I had science as well as mathematics as my subject. And that time admissions used to be on the percentage of 12th standard. So till 12th standard, there was no music at all for me, only preparations and study, going to coaching classes and all. So finally, I managed to get admission in engineering college at a place called Gondia, which is about 150 kilometers from Nagpur. So fortunately, what happened is at Gondia, where I used to stay, there was a music class just in front of the room where I used to stay. So I went there and started taking my vocal music classes and joined that course for Sangeet Visharad. And actually with that, I had missed while I was in school. I did learn tabla, but later I missed learning vocal music in school. So I started going to that class and started learning vocal classical music. But somehow Gondia was a very small place and I couldn't do much into about music there. So I somehow got transferred to Nagpur in the third year of engineering. And that's when my real professional musical journey also started. I gave an audition for All India Radio at All India Radio Nagpur for Yuva and then for Sugam Sangeet and became a graded artist there. And I used to sing ghazals, bhajans and geet there. And in that period, I also got an opportunity to sing various musical jingles. I recorded my first album also that time along with my mother and became a part of various musical groups where I used to sing Bollywood songs as well as bhajans and ghazals. So in early 90s, while I was in college itself, I became a lead singer in various leading musical groups in Central India. So that time I used to have a very few ghazal gigs, but slowly that increased and gradually I concentrated more on ghazals, which I used to like from childhood also. So that time I composed music for Doordarshan programs and for some regional functions. For some regional albums. And then I sang and composed for my own ghazal albums as well. And this journey still continues. So I would say that if you have an affinity for music and looking to make a career out of your musical talent, music has many dimensions, from classical to light vocal, instrumental, orchestration, symphony, cinema music, music production, mixing, composition, and many more. So there are plenty of students in India who want to pursue music as their major after 12th class. So there are plenty of courses available for the students. Students can join undergraduate or postgraduate courses in music. And there are courses like BA in music, MA, of course, in music, MPhil, and one can do Master of Fine Arts. And after the completion of the course in music, a student can get a job in the music industry, films, production houses, TV channels, advertisement companies. One can also work as a music teacher in colleges and universities. The enterprising students can also open their own music learning centers. Bollywood and TV serials especially have opened a new era of opportunities for musicians. Music in India is a huge part of entertainment industry, and there are plenty of employment opportunities as this industry employs different types of performers, songwriters, band members, technician, and support staff. These jobs are necessary for music to be made and reach its target audience. So as a musician, you can work on various profiles depending upon your skills, interests, and abilities. So some of the profiles I will discuss with you today. The most popular being singer. So singer are those artists who can perform vocal music for innumerable platforms and stages. They could be a solo singer, or they can be a part of some musical group or band. They could also sing a particular genre like traditional, regional, or mainstream songs. Some singers also learn to play musical instruments as well as I am also playing harmonium along with my ghazal performances. So I learned keyboard also for a few years while I was in college, and I play harmonium also. So that helps me in composing as well. So there are various playback singers you all know about: Kishore Kumar, Mohammad Rafi, Lata Mangeshkar, and so on. Then you can be an instrumentalist. Instrumentalists are the ones who have the ability to play one or multiple musical instrument. You have to be experienced in playing in more than one musical genre. Instrumentalists perform in a variety of settings. They perform live in front of audiences, recording music in the studio, and perform as a part of an orchestra in social events and gatherings as well. There are solo performance of musicians also. Then there is a songwriter and a poet. They are very talented and creative people having a strong hold on language. Many not only write songs but also compose them, and some of them sing as well. Then the third career option is being a composer. There are musicians who compose and write music that can and they collaborate with lyricists to produce a song. They have mastered the science of instruments, chords, and all nuances of music. They conduct orchestras, compose soundtracks for films, write songs for commercials, produce, record, and also teach others. So nowadays, there are music programmers who program music with the help of software, but they have to be accomplished musicians as well, and they should have all the knowledge of music, as well as they should have mastered the science of instrument, chords, etc. So there are conductors also who control and manage live performances in a concert or in a theatrical setting. They write music for each member of the team and help composers working with them. So they lead the music on the stage, making sure that each member performs well. Composers can be conductors during live performance or a stage show. So one of the famous conductor I would like to mention is Zubin Mehta. You all know about him. Then there is a recording technician. He's a very talented person, and his is a very technical job and needs a lot of knowledge. All music is recorded at some stage, and recording could be from live performance or in the studios. All this is possible with the services of a recording technician. Recording technicians use very sophisticated equipment, including high-tech recording devices and computer programs to replicate the sound produced in the studio and transfer it to a recording medium. Major recording studios hire them for their services. Then there is a music producer who is a very versatile person. A music producer writes, arranges, produces songs, works with performers and technicians for production of an album, song, or a score. So there can be a job of music critic as well. So these are journalists who have a special affinity with the music and entertainment industry. The music critic may not perform, but should have enough knowledge about music to be one. So they serve as an intermediary between the musician and the audience. Their work proceeds in various mediums such as interviews on TV, print, broadcast, and online. They may work as freelancers as well. Then there is a
Excuse me, sir.
job. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. It was a wonderful session, but we do have time restrictions, and we also have to proceed on to the Q&A session.
Yes,
So,
sure.
sir, could you please
Most of
conclude?
the things, most of the things are done.
Yes, sir. So, could you please conclude your speech within the next minute?
Yeah. Sure. So the one
Thank you, sir.
important thing was only left is a sound engineering technician. So there are a lot of colleges and universities in India teaching music. So music is taught in almost all popular colleges and universities in India. And regarding sound engineering technician, also there is a course for that also. Diploma in music production. In diploma of music production, students are trained in Logic Pro, recording arts, editing, mixing, sound designing, etc., sound writing and composition. So that's all. These are some of the major points which I wanted to share with you. So you can go ahead with the question answer session.
Thank you, sir. It was truly an extraordinary and inspiring session. Sir, may I now request you to answer a few queries which have been raised by our valued audience. I would like to invite the moderator to proceed with the Q&A session.
नमस्कार. गुड मॉर्निंग शिशिर सर.
नमस्कार.
कसा आहे तुम्ही?
एकदम छान आहे मी.
That was very nice to hear from you, sir. Before I start with question answer, can you sing one of your favorite ghazal and jingle, please?
So jingles had been a long time now, so I don't remember. Maybe that was in late 80s or so. So, but two lines I would sing here. So usually I say, thanks for giving me an opportunity to perform. But now this was thanks for giving me an opportunity to interact with you all. So normally I start with this ghazal. हम हो तुम हो तुम हो एक गजल हो सदियों जैसा एक एक पल हो हम हो तुम हो एक गजल हो सदियों जैसा एक एक पल हो. Thank you.
Oh, so it was really soul stirring, very nice, very beautiful. Okay, and sir, how I have few questions in my Q&A box. First is, here at my school, I learn Hindustani music and I find it very enchanting and peaceful. Sir, how close is classical music to your heart and why did you choose this field?
Classical music is really very calming and it serves as a foundation for vocal music and instrumental music as well. But why I chose this field, as I told you, from the childhood itself, I was inspired, and somehow I felt that I had that inherited qualities. And whenever I used to sing and perform, I used to get a good response from the audience, and people would appreciate my singing and they would like it. So that encouraged me. And somehow at the back of the mind, I felt that I could do it. So I took that decision. I did work for a few years after my engineering. For 2 years or so, I did a job also. But that time also I was singing. And then finally I decided that I have to do only this. And I become a full-time musician.
Oh. And sir, I have one more question. How one can avoid if one cannot get the lyrics and like a burnout, one is not creative. So how to increase this creativity?
Creativity, I would say you should try to listen to more and more music sung by and composed by various different artists. And that comes naturally. Actually, there is no formula, though, no rule for creativity. Any art form that has to come naturally, and that develops gradually if you keep on listening to various artists and all, attending all the shows. And if you have that instinct, I may say, passion for music, or that inherited qualities where you can try to pick up the good things from all the other performers, I would say.
Okay. And sir, is there any time like when you feel how the lyrics come in your mind? You feel any time really connected with the nature or something, and just your lines and the music come in your mind? Any specific like you are doing
Were you asking about lyrics?
Yeah, about lyrics and about the new beats and the music, how it comes?
I can't hear you.
Like, yes, sir. Can you hear me now? Hello? Yes, sir. Can you hear me now? Hello? Sir, can you hear me now? Hello? Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, it's audible.
Yes, Shishir, sir. Can you hear me now?
Resha ma'am, you can carry on.
Yes, sir. Sir, can you give some advice for our children? How can they be more creative and more dynamic in the music field, and they can pursue as a career? Shishi, sir? I think it's not audible for sir.
Sir, are we audible to you, sir? Asian ma'am, we will continue with the comparison for today's session.
Yes.
Thank you, sir, for all your support and guidance given to the large audience by attending to their concerns so patiently during the course of the discussion. Audience, kindly remember to fill in the feedback form.
As we have come to an end of this enriching session, I deem it my great privilege to propose the vote of thanks. On behalf of Indian School Al-Wadi Al-Kabir, the organizing team, and the entire audience, let me first express our earnest gratitude to His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq Al Said for the magnanimous benevolence showered on the Indian diaspora in the Sultanate of Oman. May the Almighty shower abundant blessings on His Majesty and this flourishing and beautiful nation. We extend our heartfelt thanks to our eminent speaker, Mr. Shishir Parkhi, for all his words of motivation. Thank you, sir.
Our deepest sense of appreciation and gratitude to Dr. Sivakumar Manikam, Chairman, Board of Directors, Indian Schools in the Sultanate of Oman, and other members of the board and honorary directors and Board of Directors, Indian Schools in Oman. Our sincere appreciation to the officials from Ministry of Education, officials from CBSE, and officials of the Embassy of India, Sultanate of Oman. Thank you, sirs and ma'ams, for your relentless support and guidance throughout the course of the event. Our sincere thanks to Mr. Alkesh Joshi, Honorary President, Indian School Al-Wadi Al-Kabir Management Committee, and other members of the committee for their overwhelming encouragement at all occasions. I also wish to take this opportunity to express our heartfelt appreciation to our beloved principal, Mr. D.N. Rao. Our sincere gratitude to principals of all the participating schools, vice principals, assistant vice principals, coordinators, supervisors, and the entire teaching community of all the participating schools for their support, guidance, and active involvement.
We are indeed thankful to our platinum sponsor, StudyCo, gold sponsors, Gen Group of Institutions, Grey Matters Academics, Vellore Institute of Technology, and Sri Ramchandra Institute of Higher Education. Bronze sponsors, Middle East College, Oman, Thapar Institute of Engineering and Technology, Dallas Baptist University, and MIT World Peace University, Pune. Our digital marketing partner, Spectrum, and our media partner, The Arabian Stories, for their support in making this mega event a tangible reality. I wish to thank each and every student and parent for their invaluable presence in making this global career fair, Avenir 2021, a grand event. An event of this kind requires the coordination of a dedicated team. My earnest and heartfelt thank you to my ISWK team behind the scenes working tirelessly and making Avenir 2021 a global event. Last but not the least, I thank Almighty God for making this session a great success. Thank you all. See you soon for the next session, which will be RMIT University, Melbourne, and a session from Sri Sri Academy. Both of these sessions will be held from 10:45 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Take care and have a wonderful day ahead.